Hakim malu-malu tengok dia nak interview dia tutup.
Interview dia rambut.
Kenapa you malu?
Ha?
Kenapa you malu?
Tak tahulah.
Tak tahu. Sekarang you dah tak boleh malu. Tak ada orang tak kenal you. Nak lari mana? Nak tutup? Tutup lagi. Okay, jam sihat.
Dan
So hari ni, so dah habis ke open season kat Europe?
belum habis lagi. Ada lagi tinggal last race lagi.
So kali ni balik untuk berapa lama rehat?
Dalam 2 bulan, bulan 11 saya pergi balik.
Okay, so macam mana dengan sana punya keadaan? Biasa tak?
Dekat sana COVID-19 banyak juga, tapi dia buat macam biasa je. Boleh pergi mana-mana kedai, boleh makan. Okey je kat sana, best.
Tapi sana dah banyak orang tak pakai mask
Dekat sana ada, dia tak paksa orang. Ada terpulang kepada orang tu nak pakai ataupun tidak.
Dia tak paksa lah. Dia tak paksa.
Ya.
Jadi Daniel kat sana macam mana?
Dekat sana saya okey, alhamdulillah. Dan kat sana saya ada training juga, training motor dan gym dekat sana.
Jadi kali ni balik ada training lagi tak dekat Sepang?
Balik ni saya rasanya saya ada lagi training dekat Sepang, litar besar. Dan saya akan training dekat litar go-kart ni sepanjang minggu depan dan minggu seterusnya.
So sekarang awak banyak masa kat Terengganu kan? Masa kat Terengganu kan? Banyak masa kat Terengganu ke banyak masa kat KL?
Saya rasa banyak masa dekat KL. Kalau kat Terengganu saya dapat balik 3 hari je. Dan saya rasa lebih banyak dekat sini lagi.
Okey. So, boleh cerita apa pengalaman Hakim rasa macam mana? Kira dari mini GP ni tiba-tiba boleh pergi ke Europe, race kat sana, macam mana perasaan?
Pertama sekali saya rasa gembira, syukur pada Tuhan kerana bagi saya peluang untuk pergi ke Europe. Dan saya rasa sekejap sangat je saya kat Malaysia, saya race mini GP dan saya terus lompat pergi ke Europe terus. Pergi dekat race kat sana dan tinggal kat sana beberapa bulan. Dan saya happy dapat pergi Europe dan rasa tempat yang saya tak pernah pergi.
So, dari mini GP tu, motor kecil,
Ya.
lepas tu you ke Europe, you terus naik RS1 NSF 2.0 Honda,
Ya.
Moto3 punya motor.
Ya.
Macam mana perasaan dari motor kecil terjang ke motor besar macam tu?
Saya rasa perasaan saya pertama kali bawa motor tu agak gembira sebab saya dapat pergi ke Europe. Dan sebelum saya lompat ke motor tu, sebelum saya race, saya dah ada training dekat sini. Dan saya dapat training dulu sebelum saya pergi ke race dekat Europe. Dan saya rasa saya tak teranjak sangat sebab saya dah test motor tu.
Sudah boleh lah. Dah boleh. Masa tu test kat Sepang lah.
Saya dah test kat Sepang dah.
Okay. So, you pernah try motor yang rasa paling kuat yang mana?
Yang paling kuat saya pernah bawa adalah motor NSF lah.
NSF 2.0?
Ya.
Yang Asian Talent Cup ke yang satu lagi?
Asia Talent Cup dan European Talent Cup.
European Talent Cup yang motor sama tak dengan Asian Talent Cup?
Ada perubahan sikit. Kalau European Talent Cup kita boleh ubah sedikit motosikal, kita boleh modify sikit. Dan ATC motor perlu sama je dengan semua rider.
Jadi European Talent Cup yang motor akan lebih laju tak rasa?
Saya rasa motor European Talent Cup akan lebih laju sedikit berbanding dengan ATC.
Jadi Hakim rasa susah sikit tak nak handle ke macam mana?
Dekat ATC saya rasa motor saya dah baik, dah cantik. Cuma saya je perlu perbaiki masalah saya sedikit, seperti riding dan cara saya bawa motor.
Okay. So next lagi 1-2 bulan awak akan kembali ke Europe lah.
Saya rasa saya tak tahu lagi saya akan kembali ke Europe ke tak, sebab saya ada race Asia Talent Cup. Sebab Asia Talent Cup dengan European Talent Cup sama tarikh. Jadi saya tak tahu lagi macam mana. Tim saya akan pilih lah yang mana satu yang saya pergi.
Asian Talent Cup tu race kat mana nanti?
Asia Talent Cup tu akan race di Indonesia, Mandalika. Ya.
Alright. Okey, semoga berjaya Hakim.
Okey, insyaAllah. Thank you.
Punya result yang baik ya.
Okey.
Untuk Malaysia nah.
Okey, terima
Thank
kasih.
you.
Bye.
Hakim malu-malu tengok dia nak interview dia tutup.
Although he's got a while now to try and recover, and a real shame for him to miss this round. But we do return to Mandalika later in the year alongside World SBK once again, so he will get a home round, hopefully, if he's back and fighting fit for that one.
Well then, 1 minute board before all the bikes tyre warmers come off and we get ready for the warm-up lap. This is your rundown of the grid. It's Adaki from Danish and Mie, Fadila, Rizwanto and Thompson, 2 Indonesians on row 2. Azawa, second in the championship, heads row 3 from Hafi, and Laung Plio, who heads, who's at the back of that row. Nicholas Wakamatsu, Fuetisan, the other side rider there in 12th. Putra Izdahar and Trihardika there in 15th. Al Sahuti, unfortunately, not quite the best wet weather performance, but keep an eye out for him because he's been very strong in the dry. Tranduk Tai just alongside him, with Akbar, Quintal and Cameron Swain filling up the 21 riders. Well, only 20 unfortunately now, as Vader Pratama will not be competing in the rest of the Grand Prix classes to watch. Their potential stars of the future, or frankly, the stars of now. It's Adaki from Danish from Mie on the front row of the grid. They've got 2 Indonesian riders, home heroes, chasing them all the way. Who will get the jump, the whole shot in towards turn 1? Who will we see victorious here in Asia Talent Cup? Race 1 of round 2. The lights will come on, they'll go off and will burst into life once again on the road to Red Bull Rookies and MotoGP. Here we go then, a clean takeoff from just about everybody. A big push with the right or left leg, and they begin the charge down towards turn 1. It looks like it's going to be 13 of Danish versus 14 of Adaki. Who's got the whole shot? I think it's the Japanese rider.
It is indeed. So yeah, you can see Gunmie moved over really quite a lot from his grid slot, and the number 5 has lost out quite significantly there. Oh, it's already getting really close at the front.
3 podiums here last year. He knows what he's doing around this track. It's Danish to the front.
He does indeed. So,
oh, we have a crash down there. It's Mie. Oh, cursed him. Oh, the first commentator's curse of the year. What a disaster for the Japanese rider. There won't be a triple or even a double podium here.
But yeah, let's see then if the number 5 can get back in the running. Looks like he can't. So huge disappointment then for Gunmie. So we're definitely going to have a whole new podium then here. And at the moment, like you said, Danish has hit the front and he's kept that at the moment.
It is Danish, the Malaysian rider, who come round the final corner at the end of this first lap to lead the charge.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, there's top 5 already starting to pull away from those on the chase. Perfect timing with the graphics there. It's 1.5 seconds at the last timing point between the 2 gaggles.
Ooh, that was
Adaki
Adaki making a mistake there, was it? With Fadila going up in towards second now.
He's really made a move to try and break the pack chasing him.
It's a real shame to see that number 5 being dragged away. Here's a replay of what happened coming down in towards turn 10. Got the slipstream, running it out wide on the curbs. Well, actually then switching back to the inside. Pushed out wide. Seemed to break a fair bit later and... oh! Well, there you go. Just too far inside, I suppose, and the front brake and the front tyre said, I can't handle any more than that, chap.
Yeah, just pushing a little bit too hard. The man in the lead, Hakim Danish, great lap from him, a 1:44.9, fastest by some margin and only stretching that lead at the moment, the Malaysian.
That is really, really impressive. The only rider in the 144s. We've got 3 riders in 145s. They're not your second place rider, Daki there. It does include the actual Indonesians, but we have a Malaysian out front. This is really impressive. Just, he had no real race experience from last year at all.
Yeah, no, this is really, really good stuff from Danish. And yeah, look at that gap. It seems to be visually growing corner by corner. Really impressive stuff from him. Just need to keep calm, take a few breaths. That's, you know, you need to win by 1,000th, not by 4 seconds.
Oh, we've got Fuetisan who's crashed out of the race, unfortunately. That's a shame to see the number 20 go down. Fuetisan actually had a pretty good run out last time in race 2 in Qatar, 8th position.
None of these guys are a slouch at all in this race, but Danish has really got the hammer down. Great onboard shot of this Mandalika circuit.
Then coming into weekend. Lots of people are talking about if you divert from your line for an overtaking move, it can get a bit more sketchy than perhaps they're used to. So it's good to see.
News on the ATC calendar can offer these guys, which will help Danish to keep that lead for one, and it will also help Adaki to...
This is why we're seeing Danish open up a gap towards 3 seconds now, and he's already taken a new all-time lap record from Gun Mie Way to train in the rain. So he doesn't train in vain, and that's Adaki who's gone down. The number 14 has crashed out of the race, the championship leader. That is an absolute disaster. What has happened there?
Yeah, that's... Are we going to see a replay?
Oh,
yeah.
He might have gone down on the wet patch that caught so many other riders out in various different sections today at turn 2.
Well, that is a real surprise, isn't it? Because he's been almost faultless, except for those slightly sluggish starts, which lasted all of 20 seconds from the number 14 in Qatar. So yeah, that is a huge gap now for Hakim Danish in the lead of this race.
That has got massive ramifications for the overall championship lead. Hakim Danish, your race leader, is down in 5th with 22 points at the moment. There you go, that's a live championship, but that's what it does to it. Danish moves all the way up to 1st position.
After Ace Card and Daniel Sharil just couldn't quite get the job done. But,
that was really chopping Fadila's nose off there, wasn't it? Goodness me.
Aggressive, considering we still have yet 7 laps to go, 6 after this one.
Well, really consistent pace as well from Hakim Danish. A 1:45.1 at that time around moves his leading gap up to 9.5 seconds. Fadila, Izawa and Thompson giving everything they can for 2nd position now. Hakim Danish is gone, and Thompson
close there between Izawa and Thompson.
They're nearly going 3 abreast as we come towards turn 15 again. Oh my goodness me, that is another move. Is that Fadila up the inside of Thompson? It is,
of course,
but it goes very hot indeed in towards turn 16. The camera angle made it look like he was running to the back of Izawa, but not quite.
But yeah, Shane then, he's crashed out, but Ryder okay, like you say.
Oh,
that's a little bit hot there.
Big wobble for Fadila on the inside in towards from turn 15 to turn 16.
Well, I'm sure Raycat Fadila will be hoping so. And yeah, great race so far from the number 15. He's still up there, like you say. It's almost crunch time now, and he's stuck with these guys who have got a little bit more experience right till the end of this race. So we'll have to see what happens there in that podium fight. It's as close as ever, but it is not as close as ever for this guy at the front of this race. Absolutely incredible. Now 12 seconds clear, Hakim Danish at the front.
Yeah, 12 seconds, absolutely astonishing. A shout out though to all the Indonesian fans who are listening, because you're unfortunately for Rizwanto, you got one rider up the front battling for the podium, but Rizwanto's not gone the way he would like. He's been plummeted right down the order towards 11th place, but fortunately gets another go at it tomorrow. We'll pay attention once again though to your rider represented at the front. Fadila taking on, will he be too deep? No. Oh, the front wheel is twitching all the way around. Carter Thompson goes alongside him in towards turn 2. This is brilliant racing once again in the Asia Talent Cup. Here we are at the absolutely pin section of the track. Slipstream will take effect once again. Here we go in towards turn 10. They're coming up the inside of Fadila. It's Izawa. They move left and right in towards turn 10. They go. Izawa breaking very late. Too late. Fadila chops back through on the inside.
Wow, it is getting close. And are they aware this is the penultimate lap?
Yeah,
because
quite.
we've still got another one to go. But yeah, great stuff then. Number 15 absolutely dead set on taking this 2nd place on home turf. So Hakim Danish then has started that last lap, as you can see top left in the graphics, because he has such an advantage. 15 seconds now nearly for the Malaysian. But here we go then, this fight for 2nd place. Who is going to come out on top?
So no one showed their hand or their card into that final corner then, but it is Izawa who makes that first move in towards turn 1. Will he be able to keep it though? I do not think.
Their cards on that penultimate lap.
Oh, Carl Thompson's gone down with a big high side there. That is him out of the running, unfortunately. He'll be absolutely gutted about that, but it's Fadila who's making a move up the inside of Izawa. Doesn't quite make it stick though. He nearly went sideways. That's good to see. Thompson, after an enormous accident, walking away. Just disappointment for him, thankfully. He'll get another look at it tomorrow.
Do both have to finish?
Yes, what order will it be for the Indonesian or the Japanese rider? But it's a Malaysian top of the pile. Hakim Danish takes takes the win, but we need to see what's going on at the final corner. Fadilla, he wants that second place, but it will be a podium. Just keep it upright. He's done it. It's going to be home glory for Fadilla, but Izawa cements that championship lead with second place. Brilliant racing.
But the Aussie up and okay, coming back for more tomorrow. But that podium runaway win from Hakim Danish, absolutely stunning stuff from the Malaysian. And yeah, Izawa and Fadilla then both in the end aggressive, but keeping it nice and clean, and both taking those podiums. Izawa back on the box, and Fadilla home turf glory. Absolutely fantastic for him.
Well, it's home disappointment for Tryhardica, who's gone down, unfortunately. But this is what happened with Thompson. I mean, wow, I said it was flat out through there. It looked like he might have been a little bit offline, and we did say if he goes slightly offline, it is a bit more slippy. He's got a slightly different line choice there. Yep, a little bit wider, and unfortunately, well, that's the issue there. So we're taking a very good look at that, having a good look at the data. The main thing is he's able to walk away from a very, very big accident indeed.
But yeah, main thing, up and on his feet, rider seemingly okay, and I'm sure at least he's got a good race of data as well for tomorrow, and I'm sure he'll be back in that fight at the front again. Wow, some drama in that race at the front, that podium battle, absolutely riveting. But that win for Hakim Danish, so commanding from the Malaysian. I think that may send a few shivers to his competitors ahead of race 2.
Yeah, that was very, very, when you see it was a very commanding performance, very cool-headed in such extreme heat. And when you see how the mistakes that were made by some of his main...
So hopefully there's nothing for the Australian to worry about before race 2.
Yeah, hopefully nothing more than bruised ego for him, of course, ahead of tomorrow. Will be great to see Carter Thompson, the Australian, back competing for that podium, rectifying what happened today. As we look in Parc Ferme at Hakim Danish, well, it's just most we've seen him in about 10 minutes, isn't it? Because for the rest of the time, unfortunately, it was such a dominating win. He barely got any TV time in the second half of the race.
3 races in the end. But yeah, really impressive stuff from the number 14. Absolutely untouchable in terms of the gap and the lap times, and so consistent with them.
Yeah, you could say, well, it's surprising, really, that... and then, of course, it'll be the first place trophy for Hakim Danish.
It is, and it's the president of FIM Asia who presents the winner's trophy. And now it'll be the national anthem.
Yes, of Malaysia. I can safely say I felt that in my fingers and in my toes, because we're literally right next to the podium.